All right, so I'll tell you what, we'll just kind of get started right now. Even though Steven is a Pittsburgh fan, I will still let him be in this meeting today. Okay.
Hey,
You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I have you have a much better team going on right now than I do. Okay. So let's see here. All right, I'm just bringing up a presentation that I put together right now. Okay. And I would like to share with everybody. Okay. So, just to get started right now, excuse me, I just wanted to kind of talk about a few things and get caught up. For those of you, this week, this Friday, 2 days from now, your basic layout for your portfolio website should be together, published, and the link should be added to the assignment page. I don't know if everybody hopefully saw the post I sent out a few days ago. It had like 7 different links on it, but I took the time to kind of sit there and get it all set up to do tutorials and show you how things need to be uploaded. Pardon me, connect Google Drive and send your link for your portfolio site and have it submitted to me. So if for any reason you have not submitted those or seen those videos, please get on that and try and do that as soon as humanly possible. Because like I said, things, as the year progresses, things are going to start picking up more and more. I'm not going to be sending, contact every single time. This is what's going on. Please go to this. Please go to that. Eventually we need, to get to a rhythm where we know what's, kind of expected. We have, a section project every 2 weeks, a quiz every 2 weeks, and things like that. So, like I said, hopefully everybody's in that habit of getting up and checking Schoology every day. But, that being said, this Friday is your first quiz. So I actually went ahead and did a brief presentation that I'm going to show you in a moment. And really that's what I have planned for today. But I actually want to show you 2 quick things. I'm going to share my screen for the rest of class here. Okay. So if everybody can see my screen. I wanted to kind of show you when I tell everybody that we are working on the exploratory assignments, and everybody should know these are the photography assignments, photo collage, the color blue, photo collage, fall colors. Now what I actually went and did was I made a page for it on our classroom website. So if you click on assignment or link to assignment, you'll actually see I laid out the page. This is just a, as I said before, I'd like to use Schoology as a starting off point. Here's your assignment, here's your links, and here's where you're going to submit your work. But for more detailed information, lectures, things like that, we're always going to go to the classroom website. So if you look here, you'll actually see, here's the first assignment, here's the other one that was due, and here's a quick preview for next week's assignment that I'm kicking around. I may change it. But it's in there right now. But this will be eventually an assignment. So I may give it an option to do one or the other. But whenever I put up an exploratory, you'll see these on the page. So then you can always get more information from there. Now, one of the things I wanted to do, and some of you have sent your websites, and some of you are doing a really nice job. But at the same time, some of you really need to make sure that you're following the instructions from the classroom website, which is here. If I were you and you had the opportunity or the ability to do it, just bookmark my website in your browser, okay? It's just easier, put a shortcut on the desktop, doesn't matter. And it's a lot easier because some students said to me, well, I didn't know how many pages I had to do, or I don't know what's supposed to be on there. I'll be honest, it's all right here. It's all broken down for you. What you need to have, what you need to do, the resources to make those things happen. Some students don't have resumes on their websites. So I did a tutorial on it a couple days ago. So whether or not the students looked at it is another story, but I'm trying to break down this content for you because I don't want to knock you points for something, that you can. A resume is not that it'll take a half hour, especially for some of you. It's not like you have, tons and tons of years of experience. So your resume should only be about a page. Okay. So, make sure, go in, check the resources, how everything's laid out. And you can do this stuff on your own without me being there, which luckily it's unfortunate that that's the way things are right now, but this website's been around for years in the event that we had a snow day, or if you're home sick, or, you take if you're off for a couple of days or you have to go on a trip, you can catch up with what's going on just by going to the website. Okay. But that being said, let me show you this too. I have a couple student websites, and they were just like you. They were first-year students. Okay. And I'm sorry, I want to make sure I get all my participants on here. I don't want to lock anybody out. So Stefan was a 10th grader last year. And, now let me say this too. His website did not look like this from the very beginning, but he spent the whole year every time we added things and did things. So, he did it exactly the way it was supposed to be done. He has a homepage. We can go here, click on his resume, and, he has some basic things here. But there's a button where you can go and you can download his actual resume. But there's some sounds here that he's done. I had everybody do a mashup song and a trailer for a radio commercial, an Apple commercial. So you can go in and see the work that he's done, which is pretty cool.
All new iPhone 11 Pro. The construction behind this device is unparalleled, having been constructed with a...
So it's pretty neat. That's his voice. And he did the voiceover work. He put the sound in, and this is just a little bit of what you can kind of expect to learn here, in the program. Then I asked him to take his favorite 5 songs and mash them up. So he did all that.
Making me fall, I crash on the wall. They tell me I'm doing it wrong.
So he has those same 5 songs and they fade in and out of each other. So there's a great way to come in. You can check his photo gallery. These are some projects we did last year. We did a public service announcement for underage drinking. Here's his photography that he did, the different layouts that he's done, all kinds of great stuff. So this is like the stuff that we do here in the class every single day. We did a really cool project for album design work, since it's a music program, and working on, Adobe Illustrator. So there's a lot of different things in here, self-portraits, but this is what you can really kind of expect to see when your website's done. So as I said before, you may not have a whole lot of stuff on there now, but as time goes on, you'll see all of the work that he goes and adds to from time to time. Another student, I'll show you one more, Broden, he's got a really nice site too. The colors work well. This is like his theme. He's always got purple somewhere. And he actually drew his own logo. And it's nice. It's nicely laid out, this nice landing page. You go to About Me. He's got a good picture of himself he took during class. A little bit about him. Here's his portfolio. Check out his photography work. So you can see some of the portraiture and things that we've done in class, stuff that he's done outside of class. And as I said before, just because you didn't do it in the classroom doesn't mean you can't, put it on your website. So this is a project we did at the beginning of the school year where they went out and filmed some footage. So it's got a really nice job kind of laying everything out in a nice, consistent manner. So everything is pretty well organized. He gets paid to do some Instagram post designs and things like that. But as I said, he's just got some really cool stuff going on in here. And it's really well laid out. You can be a really talented, this is actually the fall collage that I asked everybody to do. He's already got it uploaded. So, it's one of those, you come in, you grind it out, you put it on your website. As you get better and nicer work, You get rid of the stuff that you don't like so you can put up new stuff. So, keep those things in mind, when you go to do this portfolio, but make sure it makes sense, or do all the colors match. You don't want all these different colored pages. If you remember, you can easily go to marking period 1, section 2, because it's the second level, the second project, second week, and it's the portfolio lectures. So you can go here and see what's in here in terms of how you build your site, what it should look like, tips on a really nice looking website. So this is stuff that you can go in and cover before you go and build your site, but you're all should be working on them at this point. But you can always refer back to it, okay? But last but not least, I want to show you what I have been working on for the website. Now, hopefully everybody saw this video, because this is going to involve some of your vocabulary terms that are going to be on the quiz for Friday, okay? Here's all the terminology here. Some of the terminology is different in the video, but it's all relative to, the same type of content. Now, what I actually went ahead and did is some of the students said, well, these are a whole bunch of words and, how am I going to study this? Okay. Well, I went ahead and made a presentation for you. Okay. And you can go and check this out whenever you want. And these are the words that we're talking about for the quiz on Friday. So web design and internet. So our first word is, you kind of hear this said a lot, but it's a coding term called HTML. It's a funky word, hypertext markup language. And what is that? That is almost what the entire internet was created from. There's different stages of HTML. I think we're on HTML5 now. But here's a pretty interesting thing to look at. If I were to go to our classroom website, okay, you can actually go, and if you scroll down to the word developer, you can view the source code for how this web page is made. So here's my classroom website, right? This is what it looks like in computer terminology, okay? Now this is just the home page. Now watch this. All of this code is ridiculous, but this is what is written just for the home page, okay? That's a lot. Now, back in the day, we used to have to go and do all this stuff by hand, okay? So imagine that. Now we use Wix. That's what you're working on now. You drag and drop. Before, you'd have to type in this code to make a heading come up or an image load. So that's what HTML is. Okay. The next one is pretty simple, but a lot of people don't know the correct term. These are all web browsers. Everything you use to surf the internet on is a web browser. There's a bunch of them out there. There's Epic and Dolphin and Opera, but these are the 4 most popular ones that are used today: Safari, Firefox, Chrome, Internet Explorer. Personally, I like Chrome because just about every student has Google accounts, and a lot of the schools like to use Google. Plus, it saves all your bookmarks and all of your settings from device to device. So that's what a web browser is. Okay. This is a very, very important one. It's called, you might hear the word get thrown around, like, what's the hex value of that color blue that you put on that website? Well, years ago, they created a chart of 216 colors, and they're called web safe. Well, what does that mean? It means if you use these colors that are on this chart, okay, that they will be accurate on someone else's computer. If you were to go into another program like Photoshop or Illustrator and pick a color and add it to your website, that blue may look purple on someone else's computer. But this hexadecimal value, it basically means if you type these numbers and letters in, you will get that accurate color, okay? It's very similar to something that's used in the printing world, what they call Pantone colors. And it's a system of numbers and formulas to give you accurate colors, okay? So this is a pretty important thing. It has changed over the years. There's more colors that you can use. But if you're building a website that, you don't know what, is it going to be, what country it's going to be in, or what type of computer, you can always stick with these hex values and you'll always have the color that you need, okay? This is a pretty simple one, but some people don't even know what www stands for. It means the World Wide Web. It's an internet site that displays text, graphics, sound, and animation sources through what they call HTTP, which is a hypertext transfer protocol. And that's on a network. So that's what the World Wide Web is, just a series of computers around the world that are all connected like servers, where you can upload to your web browser the information that's on those computers. Okay, like if you went to eBay to go and buy something, it's all databased on a computer. The pictures, the descriptions, the price, the whole deal has to come from somewhere, so it comes from a computer on the World Wide Web. The next one is a URL. Okay, that's what is a uniform resource locator. And all that is it's just the address of the web page. Here's a little graphic right here. So if we go to the top of my page here of my browser, it tells you that, here's the website that I'm on right now. And the URL is that whole long piece of text that's in there. Okay. Up next is a hyperlink. Okay. A hyperlink can be one of two things. It can be a link to another page within a website, or it could be a link to something else that goes somewhere else. You can link a picture, a video, a sound file, all different types of things. So you could link it to documents, but that's what a hyperlink is. It's always when you see blue, usually it's blue and it's underlined, and when you mouse over it, a little hand shows up. And that's all a hyperlink is. The next one is HTTP. That's that hypertext transfer protocol that we talk about. It's this set of rules that computer code is written on how these files are transferred. So when you go to CBSSports.com, it goes through this specific type of transfer protocol to get to that information. You might also see every once in a while there's HTTPS, which is up here. If you look in the code, S is a security protocol, so it's actually secure when you surf it. There's also what's called FTP, which is file transfer, like Dropbox or Google Drive, where you're transferring files. So there's different protocols, but 99% of the time we're always on, HTTP. And then here's the links I talked about. There's two kinds of links that you can have. An internal link. So for example, if I have a web page and I have a link to another page within that, that's an internal link. So I have on our classroom website, I have tons of pages that are internally linked. So if I go to marking period 1, here's a good example. Here's the orientation everybody did. Well, this arrow is an internal link to a page within the website. Okay. Now, what would the difference be to that is the next word. Okay. Is an external link. And that one's pretty easy to kind of understand, is if you have, when I put in an external link on my website to go to YouTube and look at a video, that's an external link. It's sending you somewhere outside of your web page. Okay. I think everybody's seen this one before. It's a broken link. Okay. Broken link is just fancy for the page doesn't work anymore. It could be in the wrong spot. The address could be wrong. There's a bunch of different reasons, but this is one way that you can have broken links, is, like I said, is because the page isn't hooked up properly. Okay. Next up, pretty easy one, search engines. Okay. Back in the day, there were tons of different search engines out there. But now, the big ones are what? Obviously Google, Bing, Yahoo. I don't even know if Ask.com is even around anymore. But these are the big search browsers. Some people like to use Google for particular things. Some people like to use Yahoo or Bing, but it doesn't matter. So it's just a website database that classifies content according to keywords. So that's a lot of fancy talk, but Google is basically retrieves data. You type in the words Halloween pumpkin, and it will search all these databases of all these computers around the world to see if there's any relevant information, whether it's a picture of a pumpkin, a video, a sound of a pumpkin being smashed, or whatever. So that's what a search engine does. It retrieves information. Keywords are just something I just mentioned. Those are the search words that you put in. So if I'm going here, okay, I can actually go into Google, okay, and so if I go to goggle, if I go to google.com, these are just basic keywords. I could do Halloween, pumpkin, and then here you go, Halloween pumpkin faces. So those are keywords, okay? All three of those words are individual keywords. So if you write a sentence out, you can set up your search engine to search the whole phrase, part of the phrase, or just individual words. But you can get pretty crazy if you write out a long sentence and have it search every keyword. You're gonna get a ridiculous amount of results, which is why it's kind of good to be specific when you search for things. If you're looking, let's say you're looking for a picture of a Ford Mustang, make sure you search for a blue Mustang if that's what you want, or a 1975 Mustang. So it's all about learning how to search and be specific with these terms. But keywords are a big deal, especially in what they call SEO or search engine optimization. You got to have good keywords to end up on the first page of Google or within the first few pages of Google. Up next, I would think everybody kind of knows at this point what an animated GIF is. When you actually look at the presentation online, you'll see that it actually waves at you. But this little purple guy is an animated GIF. It's just a series of images stacked together, and it's played through a special format called GIF. And I love, a lot of people make animated GIFs and they shoot them through their phone. Like I use Giphy all the time. You can use movie footage. You can use cartoon footage. Doesn't really matter. Up next, banners. So banners are something you see all the time, but maybe not necessarily know that that is the terminology, okay? So let's go to dicksportinggoods.com. So we go to Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh, of course, it's blocked me out. How about, let's think of this. Oh, let's go to Walmart. So if you go to Walmart, these are banners, okay? These are advertisements that they like to put on the page, okay? Sometimes you even see them on some sites at the bottom of the page. But here's a good example of different banners in different sizes. There's different banners for, tablets and phones and monitors. It all depends on how it's laid out, but these are some samples of how banners are made. If you go into Facebook, you'll see, or Instagram, there's advertisements. Those are called banner advertisements. And depending on the size, they get more expensive as you go bigger with them. Okay. Up next, pretty self-explanatory, check boxes. There's check boxes and then there's buttons. Okay. And then there's switches. Sounds like a control panel. But these are check boxes here. Pretty important stuff when you build these out for your website. You may say to yourself, do I want to build it? What's going to work better for me? Is a checkbox going to work? Is a radio button going to work? Is a switch going to work? So these are things you start to think about when you get into web design. And then last but not least is a drop-down menu. This is all these words here in red are drop-downs, okay? It's just a graphical interface where a menu of options appears. And you can see on my website, here's all my drop-downs here, okay? You can get crazy with them, different colors, all sorts of different things, okay? So that's all I really have for today. I wanted to go in and just really cover this content. So hopefully everybody here is going to be able to jump in and do really well on their first quiz. So as I said, I'll do another live session tomorrow, kind of wrap things up for the week. And then Monday, I'm going to introduce the week-long project up before, we'll be at November 1st the following week. So next week, there'll be another exploratory to do. Could be a sound, could be video, could be photo, something for you to do at home. And then, like I said, I'll introduce the new projects. But if you have any questions about anything I covered today, you could just pop in at 1:45 during office hours. So if that's it, anybody got questions?
Mr. McCarthy,
Yes, sir.
how do you add music into your Wix website?
Oh, okay. That's pretty simple. Give me 1 second here. If anybody else wants to stick around, fine. If not, but if you want to watch how to do that, So I'll tell you what, let me jump into my website. Okay, the classroom site. Actually, no, I'll do the fake one I created. Okay. Okay, just give me 1 second here. I have. So let's go in and edit this site here. All right. So once your site loads up, okay. So if I go to my page here, let's just go to the portfolio page. Doesn't really matter, just as long as you go to one of the pages. Okay. Whoop. So what I can do here is I can do a quick ad. You want to hit your add button, and you want to do what's called video and music. Pretty simple. So this is where you go in, add your YouTube videos, video uploads, things like that. For example, let's say you made a video at home on your phone. You could just drag the video upload here. I know you weren't asking about sound, but I figure, hey, why not? Let's just go over it anyway. Let me do this one more time. Whoops. Okay, so if you look down here, running a little bit laggy today, a little bit slow. Okay, wake up. Okay, so here's a video that I dragged right here. You could do the same thing with YouTube, all these other different ones here. But now if you take a look, here's audio player. This is where you're gonna add your music because you need a way to play it. So there's all these, there's a bunch of different ones to choose from. But let's just, keep it basic. If you want something with the track name and how long it is, as you can see, usually you live right around here, unless you created some cool album art. But if you drag this track over, okay, well, here you go. So now there's nothing attached to it. So you're going to have to go into change the track. And here you go. So you choose audio from a track or an external MP3. So you would hit an external, okay? Now, you could add a link to it. It could be a YouTube link. It doesn't matter. Or you just do the one track that you pulled off your phone and you hit upload. So it'll go to your computer and say, okay, well, where's this sound clip from? And then you would go to your computer and pick one out. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not as complicated as it sounds. So let me just do it one more time, okay? Make your life a little bit easier. So once again, let me go to a blank page, actually. So what kind of song do you want to put on there? Is it something you created?
No, it was just a song I pulled off of where you were just at.
But where does the song, is it a YouTube song? Is it a background song? Is it?
It's a track song.
That Wix provided?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Either way, if you go into, okay, actually, yeah, you'll see right down here is Wix Music. There's a whole big player you can drag over, SoundCloud, the whole thing. Like you can add all these different things here, but if you're just adding a background track or something, this is more if, for example, when I ask my students as time progresses, I want you to make a spoken word poem, or I want you to do a 30-second commercial for McDonald's. I'm going to want you to create an audio track, and then you're going to save it to your computer, but you want to be able to save it so people can hear it on your website so you can show it to them. So going back up here, you go to video and music, and you just hit audio player. And then you just drag whichever one over that you want, and there it is. So now you can go in, you can actually change the picture that's in the background. There's all different. You can put the artist name or whatever that sound is. So if I have this external track, okay, I'll hit upload track. Now I have no idea if I have anything on my computer. I would have to think that I would at this point. Okay, so here is a song. So I'm going to hit open. Okay, and now you'll see this song is right there. Okay, you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, so once you upload that track, there's some options up here. Okay, but you don't really need to worry about that now. But once you have it highlighted in blue, you just hit down here in the bottom, hit add track. And now you can see the name of the song popped up. So let's preview it. Let's see if it worked. Okay, so let's hit preview. And if I hover over, it works.